Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about issue number 16 of X-Men from the Ashes, written by Jed MacKay. But before we dive into the story, I want to ask you a favor. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like and a comment to help the channel grow. With that said, this issue opens up when Wire walks into a room with 3K's X-Men standing waiting for him. And the first thing this man says is, "How's the arm?" to Schwarzschild. To which Schwarzschild replied by saying, "Weird, you couldn't reattach my real arm? The one that the blonde maniac cut off." Now this right here is a callback to X-Men issue 1 when Scott and his team attacked that island nation. But anyway, Wire replied with, "If we had it in hand, no problem." But they took it with them, these X-Men. That's the kind of animals they are. Doing it to their own, the sapiens loving running dogs for their flat-skinned masters. Now to that statement, one of the members of this new team went on to call out Wire for not even being a mutant himself, and then doubled down and called him a flatskin and asked why should they even listen to him anyway. And with a wicked smile on his face, Wire answered Time Bomb's question by saying, "Flatskin doesn't apply to me, I'm a particularly singular monster. And because the doctor, the chairman, and the zealot may have made you into mutants, but it's going to be me who makes you into X-Men." And on the next page, we hop back to the current day with a good look at each member of this team. And on this team is Constellation, Time Bomb, Psychovore, Schwarzschild, Galatea, and finally Juice. And as this new team stands in front of the Alaskan team, Scott went on to reply to their allegations of being the new X-Men by saying, "Seems there's a lot of that going around. But let me tell you this, my name is Scott Summers aka Cyclops, and if there's any one person who's qualified to say who is and who isn't an X-Man, it's me. And you don't make the cut." So following Cyclops' remarks, Temper followed up with another question, asking who the heck these new people are. To which, Cyclops answers with the Santo Marco 6. And right when Magic heard that, she was like, "Word, come on Kane, let's get me that other arm." And at that moment, no matter what Cyclops had to say, the fight was on. So with that breaking out, we then transition over to Cassandra Nova talking with Piper's sister saying, "Go while they're distracted." To which Piper's sister asked who these new arrivals were. Now Cassandra answered it by saying, "They're the real X-Men, the children of 3K, whom we built and nurtured. And we want you to be one of them, but only if you prove yourself." Now just as Cassandra said that, Cyclops called back into the factory and reported that they are currently fighting 6 hostile mutants on site. "The threat to the town is yours." With that news delivered, Beast went on to say, "A 30-foot-tall mutant monster charging the town with revenge on her mind. Max, I do believe you're up. And, I wish you weren't so eager to test DX." Now DX was something Beast put together to help Max regain control over his power that RLDS stole from him. So with the injection done, Beast stated that, "The effects of Dextroamphetamine X are temporary and limited. Which is why you're going out there suited up. Add to that we have zero understanding of possible future side effects on your body or X-gene, and it is nothing to take cavalierly." But regardless of what Beast said, for the first time since Max came to Alaska, he finally feels like Magneto again. So with his power back under his control, we then jumped over to the 3K's X-Men team going against the Alaskan X-Men team in a beautiful full-page spread. So, as the two teams go at it, we see Scott blasting Juice with his optic blast to no success, due to his body being made of pure plasma. Now this wasn't the worst of what to come, because as Scott was attempting to fight back, he issued an order to Psylocke to lock down their speedster on the battlefield. And just as fast as he said that, the Time Bomb came out of nowhere and punched him right in the face. So with the spit knocked out of Scott, Time Bomb turned to face Psylocke and started to insult her by saying, "No one locks me down, especially not the team's second banana psychic," and to add insult to injury, she then asked, "How did you even rate a spot in this group?" With that out there, Psylocke was more than happy to show her, so with that fight kicking off, we then see Magic face down in the snow with Schwarzschild standing over her and shouting how he had been waiting for this ever since the last time they crossed paths and she cut off his arm. But see, just because Magic was down, didn't mean she was out, because she went on to say, "I remember how you thought you could pin down a teleporter," and with that statement, she created a portal and appeared above him ready for round 2. But her move wasn't skillful enough, because Schwarzschild replied with, "You think I didn't learn anything from that," and with a flick of his wrist he reversed gravity and sent her flying to orbit. So with yet another fight going in 3K's X-Men favor, Galatea called out for Schwarzschild to conduct a move called the slingshot maneuver. Now this technique was a perfect counter for Kane, because first Schwarzschild hit Galatea with low gravity, which sent her airborne, and once she hit maximum height, Schwarzschild reversed the gravity on her to high gravity. So right before Kane could reach Schwarzschild, Galatea came crashing down like a meteor and sent Kane into the ground with a bang. After the ground-shaking attack, we then see Psylocke putting in work blocking each and every last one of Time Bomb's attacks. Now she was able to do this not because she was faster than Time Bomb, she was able to do it because she was able to read Time Bomb's actions before she was able to do it. So, just like every fight so far, 3K had a perfect counter in place for this as well, as Psychovore came up behind Psylocke and started to eat her thoughts, which created an opening for Time Bomb to land a direct hit. Or at least that's what would have happened if Cyclops hadn't interfered and blasted Time Bomb in the back. So with their first victory down, we then see Kane continuing his battle with Galatea, and one-on-one, Kane has the upper hand, but 3K has group attacks for everything. So like clockwork, Juice came up from behind and encased Kane in his ability, an ability that proved fruitless, because all Kane did was use the effects of Juice's attack as a battering ram against Galatea. So with that battle tying up, we then see Temper fighting Constellation, and during their interaction, Constellation made fun of Temper's ice shield, saying, "What is ice against cosmic energy?" and then said the X-Men really are dinosaurs. But see, Constellation was dealing with the wrong one, because Temper stated, "Dinosaurs, I'm the meteor." And just like that, Temper sent a wall of lava Constellation's way. Following that, Cyclops ordered the team to regroup, and once together, Cyclops said, "This is ridiculous, who speaks for you, and what do you want?" To that, Schwarzschild stated, "We want to be the X-Men, the vanguard of the genetic revolution. And to call ourselves X-Men, we earned it. This is a test. We're proving that we're the next evolutionary step, that you and yours don't deserve the name, with your half measures and hypocrisy. Here comes Tomorrow Summers. And tomorrow is us." So with that said, we then transition over to Beast talking with Glob saying, "It is quite simple, Mr. Herman. The wild sentinel looming over Merle was useful to us as a reminder to the town that it had been saved by the X-Men. But it also presented a hazard. You can't just leave a giant robot/genocide platform standing around. Because if it ever fell over, then the destruction would be massive. So it became very apparent that if one wished to move a sentinel, the easiest way to do it is to make it walk." And at that moment, Magneto took control of the sentinel and walked right up to the giant kaiju as Beast continued to say, and it was Magneto who pointed out that if he could make the sentinel walk, then he could also make it fight. And with that said, this issue of X-Men comes to an end. Now down in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts about this issue and what predictions you could have moving forward. So with that established, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to leave a like and a comment if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.